moving into your like later teenage years, I think that's when like you started using unhealthy coping mechanisms.
Sure.
Is that, was there something that happened specifically, or did you just like casually start drinking and then it just like added up and got worse?
No, something specific happened. I will say, I now know, by being a sober alcoholic, I now know that like I had alcoholic tendencies maybe my whole life. Like for instance, like I had one pickle and then I'd have to eat like the whole jar. And my mom would be like, why didn't you just stop? And I'd be like, I couldn't. You know what I mean? Like that type of addictive thing, like as silly as that example is, like I think there were signs like my whole life. So I think if you have a predisposition or if you have alcoholism, in which we've proven as a mental disorder in some ways, like I think it doesn't matter what happens in your life, where you're from, where you come from, how much money you have, like your job, like your schooling. Like I kind of think you end up seeing the world in that lens and like behaving that way either way. I just want to say that. But I also think that trauma and things that happen to you also expedite it. So for me, I was 17. And I guess from like 13 to 17, I probably had beers, you know, like at my friend's parents' basement, you know, we'd like drink a little bit and like fill back their bottles with water. And like, you know what I mean? Like we were just being like kids. And then I remember it like shifting for me when I was 17 and I first did cocaine. And I was like, I felt comfortable in my skin for the first time. And that's odd because that's not supposed to be your reaction to like a mind-altering drug like that. So I believe I had like ADHD. I believe that like it like quieted my mind and it made me feel comfortable and normal. And then people would say to me like, I don't know, we'd go out and then like my family would be like, oh my gosh, you were so fun tonight. You were so like out of your, you know, you didn't seem uncomfortable. You weren't quiet and weird in the corner, you know? So it actually like brought me out of my shell, which, you know, I hate to say that about a drug, but I also think that, well, first of all, I'm super blessed I got sober, but I think it saved my life a little bit. Like, and I do think alcoholics say that, like, if there was a season of their lives like where drugs and alcohol helped them get through like a hard time. And so for me, I actually had an experience of sexual assault when I was 17. And so I don't think it's a coincidence that the same year that happened to me, I started doing drugs every day and drinking all the time. So I think that's like was sort of like the catalyst. And then I think because of the way my body reacted to it and I loved it. And then I loved how people treated me and how comfortable, like I was just, oh my gosh, the sense of ease that it brought me is what kept me doing it. I mean, truthfully, I was like, wait. Like, I don't feel insecure. I don't feel, you know, embarrassed. I don't feel just like uncomfortable. And so I did. I rode that train as much as I could until it was absolutely a mess, which I'm grateful for. And I ended up hitting my knees around like 23, where like I was crashing my car. I couldn't hold a job. I was like, I mean, I was only 23, but still I was a mess, you know, and it was not fun. Like it stopped working. So for instance, like, and I hope that happens to people. I hope it doesn't continue always working because then you might always do it. Like I feel like a common thing that happens is, you know, the drugs and the alcohol just stop working. And instead of like helping you feel comfortable, it messes up every area of your life. And it did for me in a huge way. And I'm grateful for it because I ended up getting sober.
Yeah. What was it, you that knew you needed help, or did somebody like point that out to you and help you take that step?
It was me. It was, which I think is huge because like I'm pretty sure my brother told me 30 times. I'm pretty sure my mom and dad, you know, were worried about me and always, you know, checking to see if I was alive. Like there were so many things that happened that I didn't even notice. It was me. And I do share about this often with sober friends of mine. Like it felt like a gift. Like it felt like one day I woke up and like next to my bed was like this little present. And it was like, I should get sober. And I'd never thought it before. I was like, where did it come from? So that's sort of why people think it's like a divine intervention too. Because it makes sense. Like I was 22 at the time. Like why, like, you know, that's like when you're partying and having fun. And like, here I am going like, maybe I should stop. And then I was like, what? Who said that? Like, it was like so weird for me, truthfully. It was not something that like a discussion I had ever with anyone. So then that's why I also believed it. That's why I was like, wow, maybe I should. And then I found my way and asked for help and asked people if, you know, how do you do that? I knew someone who hadn't drank and like she helped me. And it was like this, go here at this time, meet this person. It was like a whole thing and it saved my life.
Wow.